Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. As some of you know, in addition to being a digital marketing strategist, I'm also a professor. I've seen a lot of personalities over the years with my students, and I wanted to share a video today on some of the things that really piss off professors. So today I'm going to be counting down my top 3 or 4 professorial pet peeves. My first pet peeve, or I think this is not just only me as a professor, but for professors in general, the know-it-all student. Okay, the student that comes in thinking that they just know everything. I actually had this happen to me recently. I had a student and he would come into class just like he knew it all, and he's like, yeah, I'm just too cool for school. And the funny thing is he actually didn't know anything. Okay, he would always do poorly on the tests. I don't know if he just did that because he didn't care. And his other classmates looked up to him because he had this graphic design studio. I've seen a couple of personalities like that, feeling like they don't have to work hard, that they just know it all. My second pet peeve as a professor, and many of my professorial colleagues will probably agree, is the student that wants to grade hub. And what I mean by that is the student who feels entitled to an A even though they haven't worked hard enough to earn that A. But if they end up getting something lower than their A or what they were expecting, they come to you with this attitude of, you need to change my grade. They huff and puff. For those students who do that, they just really entitled and they're annoying. If you want to change your grade, if you feel strongly about changing your grade, you wanting your grade changed, the best approach would be to go to your professor and say, hey professor, I was hoping to get a higher grade, but that didn't happen. So is there anything that you suggest that I can do? I think that's a more better, respectful, and humble approach, and you'll actually probably stand a chance of possibly changing your grade as opposed to just coming in with like, yeah, you need to change these grades because you messing up my GPA. Yeah, that's not cool. We don't like that as professors, and as a student, try not to do that. The third pet peeve of mine as a professor is that student that is always late. Okay, now every now and then I have a tendency to come 5 or 10 minutes late to class because I'm coming from work to class in the evening sometimes. But that student who is constantly late, coming into class 30 or 40 minutes late, at that point, don't even show up. Coming in 40 minutes, class already started. Not one, you're interrupting the rest of your classmates who were there on time. You're disrespectful to my time, and also you're disrespectful to whoever's paying your tuition for you to be there. Yeah, that's some of the things that really piss off professors, no matter how big the class or how small. If it's a smaller class, it's even worse because everybody sees you. Try not to be 30 plus minutes late to your class. And if you are going to be that late, at that point, just don't show up. I think that's more respectful than showing up late. Another pet peeve of mine with students is that student that constantly has excuses. Every excuse in the book this student has. An excuse as to why they didn't upload their assignment. An excuse as to why, they came class late. I mean, just excuses upon excuses. Like dude, everybody, it's to the point where his or her classmate is also thinking like, okay, what are you gonna come up with now? Like, just constantly making excuses up as to why you can't or cannot do something. Stop it with the excuses. That's definitely a pet peeve of most professors, not just mine, but most professors. The excuse maker. Stop it. Another pet peeve of mine is those students who just love being on their mobile devices. And it's kind of tricky because I teach digital marketing, so for the most part, I require my students to use their mobile devices. But when you're using your phone to check your social media or to be looking at Drake's new video and it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm teaching, it's disrespectful, right? Don't do that. Would it hurt you not to check your social media page for 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever it is? I don't even know how long I'm on in these classes. I think it's 2.5 hours. Just chill. My last pet peeve that I'm going to share with you guys is yawning and sleeping in my classes. An annoyance for not just me but most professors. Just don't come in my class sleeping. I don't think I'm that boring. And two, get some rest. Don't come in my class sleeping. It's not my fault you partied to 4 o'clock in the morning and you had like a 9 a.m. class. I don't teach a 9 a.m. class, but nonetheless, those are some of the things that really piss off professors. Nobody's perfect. Ish happens. Oops, I'm a professor. Professors don't say ish. I hate that. Like, I had a student do that. I'm like, and it's like the strong ranch nacho, like, I'm like, come on, like, really? Like, really? And they're like, punch it, crunch, crunch, crunch. So, yeah.